welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I'm with you with a magazine. So this is Simply Cards and Papercraft, and it is a Christmas special. So this is it. And it does come with some lovely gifts. However, I am going to be talking about one in particular because I'm definitely not happy, and I think, yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute. So, Simply Cards and Papercraft, it's issue number 221. So let's have a quick look through. So we have our index of everything that's in the magazine and what you can expect from it. So if I just grab a few pages, we can just have a look. So there's a few, well, there's quite a few ideas on what you can do with your magazine and your gifts, so there's lots of that in here. There is, if you subscribe, which is $15.99 for 3 months, this usually costs, I think it's on the back on this one, it usually costs $7.99, so for $15.99 you will get that, and you will get this Papercraft Society box by Simply Made Crafts. Simply Made Crafts by Helen Griffin. So yeah, so there's that option there. So more ideas on what you can do. So yeah, loads of really nice things. There always is. There's always inspiration in all the magazines. So I think it's a good way, if you've lost your mojo, just to do something. I think it's definitely a good way to find some inspiration, and even if you just follow one of the tutorials, that really can help your mojo. So like I said, lots and lots of stuff going on. So next month is another Christmas one by the looks of it. So this is biggest ever festive die set. So it's festive foliage, and it looks like it's a Noel one. And then they also and there's also 144 downloaded sentiments, so you can download a load of sentiments as well. So that is in next issue of Simply Cards and Papercraft, which will be on sale on the 23rd of September. So that is that. Right. So the gifts, let's get on to the gifts. Let's go on to the stamp set first, because the stamp set is absolutely gorgeous. So we've got lots, and this is what we're going to be working with today. So I'm not going to be using the die today, I will explain why in a moment. But we've got this gorgeous branch, and look, we've got baubles that we can have hanging from the branch. We've got Santa's face, more branches, more holly and bits and pieces. We've got bells, candles, a cup of hot chocolate, or it can be a cup of mulled wine. It could be anything you wanted it to be. And then the sentiments, we've got peace, love, hope, health and happiness, holly jolly Christmas, Noel, ho ho. Is that it? Yeah. So really nice stamp set. And then you do get a die, and it says it's a Tonic Studio Die, and I'm going to tell you now, it's definitely not Tonic Studio quality. I just nearly broke my machine. Let me just put it in. So this is how it comes. It comes in like a little bag, and I was like, oh, so excited. You all know I love my Tonic Studio dies, so so excited to have this. It's an absolutely beautiful die, and when cut out when cut out is nice. However, I have had so many issues. The first thing that's made me suspect that this is not a Tonic Studio die is when I took it off the well, it's not Tonic Studio's quality of dye, shall I say. The metal coatings come off, and as you know, yeah, Tonic Studio dyes don't do that. So I was thought, oh well, it's just a cheaper made dye, obviously, because it is a magazine, so you know, expenses can go up and all the rest of it. So I thought, fair enough. So I nearly broke it doing this one, which was cardboard, and I'm thinking, or maybe I've just chosen too thick of a piece to do. So I mean, I can still use it. So I decided to get out. So this is Tonic Studio's matte green card, and I thought, well, it's a Tonic Studio die, it's going to go through theirs. And yeah, so I have got it. It's been through my machine about 8 times with shims, with everything. There's still a bit here that I just can't take out at all, and I'm thinking, is this paper too thick? So what I ended up doing is I ended up taking a brand new Tonic Studio Die that I have in my stash ready to use for Christmas. I took out the one of the dies, so I've just used this one, which is Season's Greetings. I didn't use the layered die for underneath it. I literally just used the Season's Greeting ones, and I thought, you know, is it me or is it actually the die not working? So I got a Tonic Studio die out, and straight away you can feel the difference. This is so much thinner. I mean, it is, I don't even know if you can see, it is like super thin compared to a Tonic Studio die. So I'm thinking, well, obviously this must just only be good enough to go through really small paper. So I thought, right, well, could it be the paper? So I ran this through and it went through once. I didn't even reverse it like I would normally, and it cut perfectly first time. So it's annoyed me that, because I did actually nearly break my machine because I was putting more and more shims in and stuff, and yeah, my machine made a funny noise, and I thought, yeah, it's not worth it for one die. So not happy. I haven't tried it actually on some thin cardstock. So this is, see, I wouldn't even know if this is thin enough for it to go through. I used it the other day. I think it's about, let's have a look, see if we've got thin. Because the other thing that I thought it could be, because I don't want to come on and give you guys a false information. Right, this is 160 GSM. So that one I know is 160, which is the thin, like, is the thinnest weight that I would go to for card. Now I have bought myself a brand new tray. So this is it, a plate, sorry, for my machine. It's a Spellbinders Grand Caliber cutting plate. It's 8.5 by 12 inches. It was on eBay for about £11, and it is just, so it's the cutting plate C for the Grand Caliber, and it's basically exactly the same as my old one. This one, it doesn't even have the writing on it anymore. I mean, you can see it's super old. The only reason I'm replacing it, because it doesn't need replacing really, is when I put full sheets in, it messes my sheets of cardstock up. So it was time, it would get like embossed things on, so it was a time to replace it. So I thought, oh well, is it the fact that I've got a new plate? But no, it's not, because yeah. So now what I'm going to do, because let's try it through like this first. Let's see what happens. I think I already know the answer, but let's see. Right, I am going to reverse it. And surely it must cut. Please cut it. Right, brilliant. So the lowest, see, that bit hasn't cut again. Ugh. This is so frustrating, guys. This is really frustrating. Right, so what sort of really annoys me is that if somebody buys this magazine, and I hope they see my video, because if they buy this magazine, and I mean, you can see none of it's cut properly at all. This is terrible. This is not a Tonic Studio die. But if they've never had a Tonic Studio die ever before, and they get this magazine and they try this die out and they have the same issues as me, they're never going to use a Tonic Studio die again. And I know, because this happened to me when I very first started crafting, and it's took me a long time to get tattered lace dies again. And I mean, this is terrible. This really is terrible, guys. I mean, it's just, that's the lowest weight cardstock that people use. I mean, anything under that is classed as paper. So it's 160 GSM, and I know it's 160 GSM because yeah, right. Do you know what? And should we try it with a shimmer, or am I just going to get myself even more angry or even more disappointed? But I don't want people to think that this is the quality of, oh, it doesn't matter if it's not done perfect, does it? No. So if it's not done perfect, so what I do for my shims is I just get bits of old card, and it's normally really thick card. So because my plastic shim that I have doesn't go through with this and the other one because they're already really thick. This is as if we've got a shim, so that's why I just use cards. So I'm going to use, this is like a really thick card, so this is about 300 GSM. It's actually probably just a little bit more, so let's see if it cuts out with, but yeah, because like I said, my shim won't go through with it, it will just break it. I did try it, and the fact that I don't use a shim ever with my dies, yeah, it just really annoys me. Yeah, it hasn't cut again, guys. You can see that it hasn't. You can see it's cut perfectly here, but it's not. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see? It's not cut here. It's not cut here, but it's cut everywhere else. It's definitely not my machine. It's definitely not using with my shims and things. It's definitely the poor quality of the dye. So it is a dye that will not be able to be used because the fact that, I mean, I ended up ripping all of the back off on this one just to get it so that I can use it. And I'm not going to fight with a dye to use it for a sentiment when I've got plenty of decent dyes in my stash that I can use. But yeah, like I said, I don't want people to come on and to start thinking that that is the quality of a Tonic Studio Dyes. It isn't. It's not the quality of a Tonic Studio Dye. A Tonic Studio Dye, I have so many in my stash. I have a ridiculous amount actually in my stash. They are my favourite go-to dyes. I never, ever, ever have to put in a shim. Ever. I've never had to put a shim in using those boards, using, yeah, it's just no, I've never had to. Yeah, it is not a Tonic Studio. That's really, do you know what, I should be ambassador for Tonic Studio, I think. I would happily do it for free. No, it's just that it really frustrates me, guys. It really does frustrate me because, you know, that's, I think because it's one of my favourite brands and because I know the quality of them, and like I say, what put me off, what sort of made me realise that it wasn't a Tonic Studio quality dye, was the fact that, yeah, look, see, I can't even, it just, and that's, I am trying, guys, I'm trying my hardest to get, but it's just, it's just not cut out properly. I mean, yeah. And it's such a shame because it's a beautiful dye. So I think it might be that if I ever see it on the Tonic Studio website, I might get one. But I mean, what made me realize, like, think straight off was, don't get me wrong, I have lots of cheap China dyes. So I get my layering dyes. I've got them from China, and yes, every now and again I do have to put like an extra bit of card in and stuff, but I don't mind because I know it's a cheap card. I know that it's something that I spent less money on, but I find that there's certain brands, Tattered Lace, they are really good dyes. Now I know how to actually use my machines. They're brilliant dyes, and the Gemini dyes, I love them as well. The dyes that you get from Alina Crafts are fabulous. There is just yeah, there is loads of really good dyes out there, but I have got some that have come from, that have been made like this, and I've always ended up just binning them because they're not even worth selling on or giving to anyone because, yeah, they just don't work. So I'm a little disappointed with that. Really sorry if I've just ranted on. I know you've come on to see me make a card, and all I've done for the first like 10 minutes is just rant on about how disappointed I am with that dye. Anyway, right, let's forget it. My idea that I had when I saw the magazine is gone out my head completely. Right, so let's have a look at the stamp set. Please don't fail me, stamp set, because there was a stamp set a couple of months ago that was not made very well, so please work. Please work. Oh dear. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you've got this magazine. Let me know, does your dye work? Because I really hope it does, guys. I really do. Or do you have the same issues? Are you having the same issues as what I have had? So yeah, do let me know. Right, I've got my some white alcohol ink marker paper here. We are going to use that, so because we are going to use alcohol pens, we are going to need the Memento. So I'm going to grab Mr. Santa. Oh, actually, I'm actually going to grab, because the Memento doesn't stick to these stamps as well as what I would like it to. This is terrible. I need to get my alcohol ink out and give this a really good clean. Let me just cut this down. Where's my trimmer? What did we do with it? Okay, so I'm just going to cut this down because we don't need all of this. I'm just going to do 5 inches. That'll do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go in there, and we're just going to pop on our Santa's head. Move all of these out of the way, and then I'm going to stamp these out. Now I want 3 Santa's head because I've got a little idea for a slimline card using just Santa's head. So okay, so yeah, I find that because with the Memento inks, they pool up on the stamp, and it is just the stamp that it's made. Your Memento inks works better on a polychrome, no, is it? Yeah, not a polychrome. Polychrome on my pencils. Polyurethane stamps, I think it is. The stamps that Julia has hers made as, so they're quite a thick acrylic. These are a thin acrylic, and you'll find that the thin acrylic ones, the cheaper stamps. I know Gemini do this sort of stamp as well, and they are the same. The ink pulls up on them. Don't think they're the cheaper stamp. I think I just associate them as a cheaper stamp just because of the fact that they come in magazines mainly. But I do have some from Gemini. I have some from Tattered Lace, I think, and a few other places. And it's just the way that the stamps are actually made. That the Memento ink pulls up, whereas you'll find that your archival ink doesn't pull up on them. It sticks to them lovely. So when using like your Memento, if you're wanting to do alcohol ink colouring in with these, you are best off using a stamp positioning tool, whichever one that you have, just because then you can stamp it multiple of times, and yeah, away you go. Right, I'm just going to do, I'm going to do one more, just because why not? No, it's not going to fit there, but it will fit there. Right, so I hope that makes sense, guys. And it's just what I've learned over the years. Right, I'm going to have to move that because that does not want to, there we go. From using all the different products and the different stamps, because I know that a few of you have said to clean the stamp, and it does work ever so slightly, but the ink still pulls up on. So after doing a bit of research, yeah, it's just the way that it's just what the stamps are made out of. That's all it is, of why it does it. So there you go. And it's something that I never knew, but I do now. So yeah, I hope that's helpful and useful bit of information there for you guys. Right, I'd like to do some of these as well, because I think these would look pretty. The only thing is, do I actually want to cut them out, or do we want to just should we just stamp them onto our card base when we do it? Yeah, I think so. Let's just stamp them on, because I've got an idea for them. Okay, right, I think, guys, that might be it. I do want to do my sentiment, so I think we're going to have this one, which is peace, love, hope, health and happiness. What a lovely sentiment that is. Do you know, I really like that sentiment. So definitely not disappointed with the stamps, guys. Definitely not. The stamps are gorgeous. So yeah, oh, do you know what I should have done? Right, so that's it stamped out, so it's a bit fluffy. So what I'm going to do, I need to cut this down to size because I want a bit, so I'm going to just do this at 3 3/4. Right, just ready to do my thing. So So I'm going to pop that in there, and I'm going to grab my archival ink, and then we're just going to, because I'm going to get a better, yeah, a better impression of that, because it doesn't pip. It's just weird, isn't it, how different inks react to different things. But it's all about knowing. This is why playing with your products, why you know, you should play with your products, why you shouldn't, like, you know, work with them. And I'm not going to say that you're going to know straight away, but the more you use your stuff, the more, yeah, the more that you sort of learn about them and what they can do. So here is our gorgeous Santas. So let's start by moving my phone so I can actually get in at my alcohol ink markers. So I'm using Copics, but you can use any that you want. So I'm going to start off, because I'm going to do his beard. I'm going to use the 00, my 1 and my 2 for this. So where all the shadow areas are, I'm just going to come in like so, just where the shadow bits are. And this is just so, I mean, really, you would just leave, like, you could just leave it, couldn't you, because his beard is white. But I think there's something just about adding in some greys that give you your shadows that make a beard come to life. So as you can see, so just under his nose, round his mouth, under his moustache, where these lines are at the end, that's just where the what do you call it, it's a laid on each other. We also want to do a bit on his eyebrows as well. So I'm just going to start off, and that's smudge that one, so we can't use that. You do have to leave your ink to dry, and I don't think I've left it long enough to dry, which is silly of me. Right, okay, so there is that. And actually, let's put a little bit on his hair. So, and then I'm going to come in with my number 1, and we're just going to drag that colour out a little, like so. It's just blending it out and dragging it down, so like so, just to give it. And you can see I'm not sort of being very careful of this. This is a good thing about the beads, you don't have to be careful. So just all the way around, it's just blending it out. And then I'm going to come in, oh, and let's do this one, nearly forgot. I like to do all of my colours. I don't think it's the best way to do it. I think the best way is to do one image at a time, but I can be very impatient when it comes to colouring in. So, and then I'm coming in with my C00, and then I'm just going to blend all of that together. So just like so, and it just gives us, yeah, and it just gives his beard some colour. So your greys are really good for this. I forgot to do his tash, never mind. So again, all the way around. And when you do it, I mean, it's probably not even looking like I'm doing anything on the camera, because it's that light. But I know that Winsor Newton Pro markers, they have got a really, really good grey range that would do this nicely as well. I think Spectrum Noir have as well, but please don't quote me on it. Right, so there's that. Right, now I want to come in with his skin colour. So I'm going to go with, what skin colour? Normally I do my 50s, so I'm going to do 50, 51 and 53. So let's do 53 first, and that's just going to be where the shadow areas are. Okay, like so. So I will do one face at a time, I think, for this one, so I don't mess up. and then 51, and we're just blending that out. Now you can either do your alcohol ink marker colouring, you can either go in with your lightest first and do the whole thing and then work down, or you can do as I'm doing. So I work from the darkest and then go out to the lightest. So I'm now finishing up with the lightest colour, which I'm putting everywhere, and that is our Santa's face done. I'm not a professional at all when it comes to colouring in with markers. I am still being newbie, although I've been colouring in with Copic markers now for about a year, and I've been colouring in with alcohol ink markers for about 18 months, 2 years, since starting Julia's team, her design team. And I have to say, I think I might be a bit of an intermediate now. I think I might be able to go up. I sort of know how to do it. My issue when it comes to colouring, which is why I say that I'm a beginner, is the fact that I have, I'm still working on my colour theory, and I'm still working on shadows and stuff. I don't really understand all of that bit yet, so I need to sort of research more into that, but it will come to me over time, and you know, you only get better with practice. So I'm just going to go in with number 51, so just around like this. Okay, and then so these are really quick. This is actually a really quick Santa to colour in, which is quite nice. And then let's come in with the 50. Okay. So going over everything. And it just always seems to work quite nicely. So you don't need to know about shadows and things. Just, yeah. You'll learn as you go. You will. Right. Now, last but not least, let's do his red hat. So my go-to reds for the for Copics are R29, R27, and R24. But then I also like to bring in my R59 for all of my dark bits. All of the shading bits. So that's what I'm going to do. So where all these lines are. Now, for his cap, I'm not going to colour that in where the white bit is, because what I'm thinking is, shall we do glitter? So I'll stick glitter to that. Why not? So just going around. So like so. And so I'm doing it to all 4. We are only using 3, but what I'm going to do is just use my best 3 when I've cut them out. Okay, so making sure to go around everything that I want to. Right, miss that bit out and around his ear. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with R29, and I'm just going to bring that line out just a little bit more, so we're just blending that out. So, like so. So each time you bring a colour in, you're just bringing that colour out just a little bit more. So you go into the colour that you started off with, and then you just drag it out. So you're blending that out. So I'm starting off in that really dark red line and bringing it out just a fraction, and just bringing that down like so. Like I say, absolute beginner, but absolutely love doing it. Okay, so all the way around. So there we go. And then the last one. So yeah, it's all just about bringing the blending those colours together, so going over your original colours that you started off with, and just making the colour drag it out a little bit further as you go with each other one. So again, just starting off, and you'll find that you'll have very little space left as you go with each colour, but that's completely fine. And sometimes, like this one, doesn't look like we're going to need much of 24. Okay, and then this one. Now if you wanted to make the colour more and more intense, you can go over it a couple of times, and that'll give you a much more intense colour. I only go over it twice if it's like a large space, so when it's just a small space like this, then I don't. I leave it and just go over it. I just do it all the once. So there's that, and then the last colour is number 24, R24, and then we're just going to go over the whole thing to blend that all nicely together. So it takes time. You don't have to have your colouring like this, guys, by the way. You can have it just block colouring, which looks just as beautiful, definitely. And I do block colouring a lot still, even though I have some knowledge of blending my colours. I still like seeing block colour. I think block colour can look really, really nice. Well, actually, it doesn't. It's not if it can, it does. It looks gorgeous. Right. Okay, now for his lips, I'm going to come in with this R24, like so, all the way on all of them. And then I'm just going to bring in R27 and just do the corners of his mouth. So this is the other way that you can do it. So I've gone in with my lightest colour first, and then I'm coming in with my darkest colour. I'm just using 2 for the lips, and then I'm going back in with my lightest colour over the top just to blend those nicely together, like so. So that is that. Then we want some nice rosy cheeks, so I'm just going to grab my R30 and we're just going to put some nice rosy cheeks in there on both sides, and then I think we can say we're finished. And then the hat and everything else we're going to do with some glitter. So let's cut these out. So the best way to cut out your pieces is to first roughly cut them out. So cut them out so that they're in smaller pieces. So it's just one piece per cut out. I am going to leave a border just because it's easier, and then take your time when you're fussy cutting. Use the back of your scissors to cut, because it really does help you get like much better flow of cut. And move your paper, don't move your scissors, because you'll find that moving your paper really does make it work better for you. I love fussy cutting, I really do. Yeah, it's one of my favourite things to do. I feel like there's a frog in my throat. Okay, so just going to do all of this, and then I'm going to make my own card base because I don't actually have any cards left in my stash. So I'm going to get an A4 sheet of card, and I'll show you how I do my card bases for slimline cards. Not bringing in anything else, just glitter and colouring bits, but I definitely think that a bit of glitter on this will look gorgeous. So yeah, right, I'm just gonna, this one's not cut out very well. Okay, and the last one. So it's going to be a simple card. It's not what I had in mind when I started, like when I saw the magazine. because it did arrive yesterday, so I've only just managed to be able to get round to filming today. I don't know when this is going to go up because I've got to edit it and stuff yet, but yeah. Right, okay, so that's that done. Card base, so I'm just going to grab a sheet of card. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked the camera. So this is just an A4 sheet of card, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, so I only have to hand, I only have this one. So I'm going to score it at, do I want it 4 inches or do I want it 3.5? Let's do it, so I'm going to score it at 3.5, so like so. And it has got mark on the back, but that's fine, we are going to cover that, so I don't mind that. And then all I do is I just come in and I cut that down to 3.5, so I'll put that on 3.5 like so, and that gives me my card base. Okay. So there's that. Now I did have a piece cut out, didn't I, for this, so this needs to actually be cut down, so I'm going to cut this down to 3.25, and then I just need to mark out where I want this cutting down, because so about there, I'll just put a little mark in my card. Right, there we go. And then what we're going to do is we have our Santas here. I'm just going to pop them on a line like that. I then want to come in with my sentiment, and we need to cut this straight, or as straight as we can anyway. No, yeah. Okay. So, right, so I have this long sentiment, which if we raise them up, yeah, right, okay, so I know what we're going to do. So on this piece, what I'm going to do is, that doesn't look straight to me. Let me just straighten this up. There we go. So on this piece, I am just going to grab, I'm going to grab my abandoned coral, and I'm just going to go around the edges of this, just to give it some colour. So just like this. So not adding much else onto my brush, because I know there's already quite a bit on there. So that's that. And then I want to bring in my card base. I'm going to do the same with the card base. So we're just going to go all the way around it like this. Just so, now it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly done with, it's not perfectly sort of blended together. It doesn't need to be, because a lot of this centre is going to be hidden from view. So we're just adding that colour in so that it all sort of blends nicely together. Okay, so just like that. So that's what we are doing. Okay, so let me just pop that there, and then what I want to do is I want to stick this on here, but I'm going to go around with my R39 just to put a nice border on, instead of bringing in paper from my stash to put some matting layers on. We're not using this. And I don't mind using my Copic markers, just because I don't use the chisel side, so I don't mind using doing that. So that's going to sit there. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to do the same around this as well, just so that it ties both of them together. Okay, and it keeps everything the same. Okay, and then there we go. Right, Okay, so now I've done that, I'm just going to grab some dimension, and I want to just grab some cardboard for this. So let's grab some. That can go there. That bit can go there. Right, let's glue that down, and then let's glue this on top. So I'm just using my Tonic Studio's Nouveau glue. Okay. Right, and then let's pop this on here. Okay, so there's that, and then we have this piece here, which, oh, look at that, it's actually cut perfectly. How nice is that? So again, I'm going to come in with this pen. Oh, wrong end. And I'm just going to go around the edge of here, like so. Ooh. And this one I'm going to stick down flat because I'd like our Santa's heads to be stuck up, well, raised up, sorry. Okay. That's just going to go across there like so. So there's that. Now before we go any further, I'm just going to grab some glitter out. And actually I'm going to go, oh, do we go gold glitter or white? That is the question. I'm thinking gold. I always go white. Let's go with gold, why not? So I'm just taking these, and all I'm doing is I'm just going to put some glue where his fur to his hat is. And I'm going to do this to all of them. So just like so. There's one. And then second one. Like this. Yeah, I always go with my iridescent one, so I think it's nice to actually go with gold, and I think red and gold look lovely together, so that's what I'm based on. I know that I probably got quite a few of you shouting at me going, no, we want the clear, but yeah, I thought, why not? And you're probably all going to be right, but I don't know, I just want gold. I've sort of like got it stuck in my head now. Right, I'm just, these little pumps, and let me actually just do it on here, and you just sort of spray it with it, and yeah, you lose a very little glitter. So it's like a couple of sprays and it's done. So I got mine off eBay for about £6. I only have 2 of them. Yeah, but they're just called glitter puffs. So yeah, like I say, I love them. I think they're fabulous, and eventually I'd like to get lots more. Okay, right, so there's that. This is the glitter I am using is actually Tonic Studio glitter, so it's the one that comes in these little balls. So yeah, right, and then we are gonna have our little Santas just like this. So they need to be up a little bit because we're hiding the centre. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, let's cut some of these off. So I'm just gonna glue. Come on. I've had it the wrong way. So I need to wait. There it goes. Okay, so that will go on there. And then that will sit there. Like so. And then let's do the same with this one. Okay. middle. Oh, so oh, do you know what? I love this. And then the very last thing we're going to do, we're just going to put some gems down there. And then I think you can safely say our card is finished. So I'm not going to do 2 today because this has taken me nearly half an hour. So, but I have had a lot of fun with this. So, yeah. Right, I just have a tub here full of gems. So this is just gems that I've had sort of around my stash that needed using up for a while. So I'm just having a look to see what I've got actually. Got all different reds. I don't seem to have the same colour reds. Those two are the same. Right. I like the big round red ones, but I don't know if I've got enough big round red ones. Do we have enough big round ones? It's a red one. That's a red one. I need one more. If I can find one more, we're going to go with the big round ones. Yeah, excellent. Right, we're doing the big ones. Oh, I've thrown it away. So yeah, it literally is just what's been in my stash for such a long time. I've ended up, I had this little pot from, oh, what do you call it? Where's the other one gone? I got this from some Ferrero Rochers, so that's where this has sort of come from. I need another one of those because I've lost it. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that. So if we just space them out just a little bit more. There, perfect. Oh, how perfect is that? That is such a lovely card. Right, so let's pop some glue down. And then there's that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Oh, beautiful. So there you have it, guys. That is my card for today. I really do hope that you've enjoyed this video. I do apologise for my little yeah, sort of rant at the beginning. I just don't want people to think that that's the quality of Tonic Studio Dyes, because it really isn't. Tonic Studio Dyes are just amazing. That is my personal opinion. I'm probably going to get a million thumbs down for it, which, I mean, I know everybody is entitled to their own opinion. This is just mine. So so yeah, but anyway, how gorgeous has that card turned out? I really love that. I think it's so beautiful. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you think of my card and what you think of this issue. So the stamps are just beautiful. I love them, and yeah, they'll definitely get used. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.